Good morning. Welcome to Thomas College. The subject is the learned response. We're four associates, just ordinary people with a long history of working together as a team and also independently. We're based in Palm Springs, California, working with people that want a happy, joyous, and free life. Happy is external. It's about the people in our life. Joyous is internal. It's human spirit. It's spiritual. That's side of us. And free is intellectual. It's mind-based. It's our thoughts. It's all ancient, proven behavioral science. Nothing new, nothing original. We're just students teaching students. So how does a person with zero resources turn their life around? We all share only our unique experience, strength, and hope with each other to seek our higher selves and then reside in the possibilities. There's two questions. Who am I, and how can I help? Why am I on this earth? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Two important days in our life are the day we're born and the day we find out why. We're four beings. We're a spiritual being. We're an intellectual being. We're an emotional being. And we're a physical being, our physical world where we live. And we have a destiny. Wow. There's a minister in Southern California that wrote a book called A Purpose-Driven Life. And purpose is an important thing to be looking at. I love the title of that. You need to find out what's going to make you into this higher person. As a spiritual being, it's important to understand that it's the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. It's apathy. Coexists with a great virtue, unconditional love. That's hard to achieve, obviously. That's the perfect state. We're a being of intellect, one of the four beings. Envy, greed, gluttony, pride, anger, lust, and sloth in this column here. And each of those, the worst has got to be envy. The rest of them could be fun, lazing around, goofing around. And they're in that order for the memory word of EGG, PALS. That's a defect of character. They're easy to identify, but they coexist with virtues over here. And the virtues are capable of great kindness. The worst, most unfun thing to be is somebody that's envy and jealous and a stalker and all the rest of it. There's a lot of words around this, but capable of great kindness is about as good as it gets. And then when you take a look at greed, it's money. It's money's the root of all evil. It's something that's either in your life or it's not. It could be gambling. There's a number of words around that. But it defaults to something great, and it coexists, always coexists with generosity. When it's a problem, it has the potential of great generosity. They interchange. Gluttony. Instant gratification. And the answer, of course, would be moderation. You're the peacemaker. It has great implications. The closer you look at these, you'll begin to realize you're not guilty of every one of them. You may identify a little bit with one or two, but there's obviously one that's going to be stronger for you than anything else. And pride is, I know, yeah, but, anything but learning. And it coincides and hangs in there with humility. You have an extreme ability to tell the truth, that you can say the worst about yourself. It co-functions with each other. Anger is something I know about, and it's isolators, stay away from me, and it's patience is the virtue. These are great things. Lust is about a preoccupation with things related to sex, and it's the ultimate suspension of common sense. Whoa! We do things in the name of sex that don't make any sense at all. And at last, sloth. That if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. And the virtue is persistence. As an emotional being, the defect is a chaotic viewpoint. Symptoms might be mood swings. It's all about people, the people that are around you. And what happens in terms of the virtue is you become very flexible. As a physical being, it's the sum total of what your life is on a daily basis. It's your physical circumstances. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, there's halt. That's what we commonly look at. But there's also a couple other factors. One is pain and stress. So that would be false if you look at the S and the P. And the symptoms might be body illness, things that are happening to you that are affecting the way you're doing your life. And the virtue is gratitude. And all you really have to do is understand what your life situation is. Life is in motion, and groups are complex. Each person is on a different curve. It's a blur of curves. Being self-propelled is never a good idea. It borders on insanity. That's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. How is the mind that created the problem ever going to solve the problem? Two or more is the magic. It's an instinct, specifically the second instinct, our social instinct. That's community. There's a culture that has no word for community. The equivalent is going home to our people, to our tribe. In and through community lies the salvation of the world. This guy holds the community in contempt. He is the boss, a big guy. But the community is alive and well without him. They help each other in spite of him. This guy is radically different from his community. He's different from his community. It's a community of grandstanders and lesson learners. They want him in the community because someone has to do the work. If it all goes wrong, he takes the blame. He's an acceptable, productive part of the community. When something does go wrong, these suits get to side with the boss, and this guy gets laid off. But don't forget, this guy was productive. The boss wants someone to pick up his workload. That's when the suits become invisible. This is actually a true story. They will not pick up his productive role. That's kind of a dangerous thing in a company. Experimenting with your own role in life will help you define your purpose in community. Universal 12-step programs, they're all about service. Service is a pathway to self-discovery. There are hundreds of versions of this behavioral science. The 12 steps aligning to our four beings. Steps 1, 2, and 3 align to our spiritual path. Steps 4, 5, 6, and 7 align to our thought path. Steps 8 and 9 align to our emotional path. That's all that people stuff. Steps 10, 11, and 12 directly addresses our day-to-day living process, living at the level of our higher self. It's important to understand the concept of change, to change. to understand the human and natural sciences behind the idea of a profound change. It's the product of seeking and listening. Listening is meditation. Stop the overthinking process and deliberately get quiet. Specifically in nature, the observable reality of nature's creatures. It's metamorphosis. It's a transformation, and it turns into a butterfly. It's the uncomfortable, painful part of changing. And it's very important. It provides the strength that the caterpillar needs to survive to the butterfly. We're all just students teaching students. Here are 4 random students. Our instructions are basically share your experience, strength, and hope. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. No opinions, no suggestions, no criticism, no comments, or advice, anything like that. The curriculum will get more complex, so it's important to keep this part simple and straightforward. So now we're back to our teaching document, the original teaching document superimposed on those 4. These 4 students are unique individuals. They tell us they want a better life. The student has become aware of it through self-discovery, that awakening process. This is the no-harm interaction between 2 students with very different problems. It's students teaching students. That's it. That's a relationship between 2 people. Both want a better life for themselves, and they know they can't do it alone. Finally, some contact information. Give us a call or email, and we'll do what we can for information or detail. Thank you. Bye.